The cargo bay of the Meridian Dawn hummed with the steady rhythm of deep space travel when Anna first found the creature. It was no larger than her forearm, with iridescent scales that shifted between copper and violet under the ship's fluorescent lights. Its wings, translucent membranes stretched over delicate bone structures, twitched as it cowered behind a stack of supply crates. "What in the 7 colonies?" Anna muttered, crouching down slowly. The creature's eyes, large and golden, fixed on her with unmistakable intelligence. She had heard stories, of course. Every spacer had the Draconians of Epsilon Eridani, bioengineered organisms designed by the long-dead architect civilization. They were supposed to be extinct, wiped out when their homeworld's atmosphere collapsed 3 centuries ago. Yet here one was, a baby, by the looks of it, shivering in her cargo hold. Anna reached out carefully. The dragon-like creature flinched, but didn't flee. Its scales felt warm, almost feverish. "You're sick, aren't you, little one?" She spent the next hour coaxing it out with strips of protein rations. By the time her co-pilot Kayan found her, the creature was curled in her lap, its rapid breathing finally beginning to slow. "Anna, what the hell is that?" Kevin stood in the doorway, his dark eyes wide with disbelief. "A dragon," she said simply. "He was dying, probably escaped from some illegal collector's ship." Kevin ran a hand through his black hair, a gesture Anna recognized as his thinking pose. "We can't keep it. If customs finds out, I'm not throwing him out an airlock." "Kevin?" They stared at each other for a long moment before Kevin sighed. "Fine, but when we reach Arcturus station, it goes to a sanctuary. Agreed?" Anna nodded, though she was already growing attached to the small creature purring against her chest. She named him Ember, and for 3 weeks he was her constant companion. Ember learned quickly, too quickly. He understood when Anna spoke, responding to commands and even anticipating her needs. When she worked on engine repairs, he'd fetch tools with his small clawed hands. When she slept, he'd curl up on the pillow beside her head, his warmth oddly comforting in the cold vastness of space. But Ember wouldn't stay. The first time he disappeared, Anna panicked. She searched every corner of the ship, convinced he'd gotten sucked out through some hull breach. Then, 6 hours later, he returned through the ventilation system. Scales dusty, but eyes bright with excitement. "Where did you go?" she whispered, checking him for injuries. Ember chirped, a sound like crystalline bells, and nuzzled her hand. It became a pattern. Every few days, Ember would vanish for hours, sometimes half a day, then return. Anna tried locking him in her quarters, but he'd somehow find his way out. Kevin suggested tracking devices, but they couldn't get anything to stick to his scales. Maybe he's looking for others of his kind. Kevin suggested one evening as they watched Ember squeeze into an air duct. Maybe there are more survivors out there. Anna had considered that. The thought filled her with both hope and sadness. If there were other Draconians alive, Ember belonged with them. But the selfish part of her didn't want to let him go. They were 3 days out from Arcturus station when everything changed. Anna was running diagnostics in the cockpit when Ember appeared, more agitated than she'd ever seen him. He chirped frantically, tugging at her sleeve with his small jaws, pulling her toward the observation deck. "What is it, boy? What's wrong?" Kevin emerged from his quarters, rubbing sleep from his eyes. "What's all the noise?" Ember's answer came through the viewport. Ships, dozens of them. No, not ships, creatures, dragons. Each one larger than Ember, their scales reflecting the light of distant stars like living constellations. They moved with purpose, their formation almost military in precision, and they were heading straight for the Meridian Dawn. "Oh my God," Kevon breathed. "Anna, we need to run now." But Anna was watching Ember. The little dragon wasn't afraid. He was excited, bouncing on his legs, wings fluttering. He chirped again, a different sound, this time calling. The flock responded. They surrounded the ship, but didn't attack. The largest dragon, easily the size of a small shuttle, positioned itself directly in front of the viewport. Its scales were deep crimson, aged and scarred from countless battles. When it looked at Anna, she felt the weight of centuries in that gaze. Then it did something impossible. It spoke, not with a mouth, but directly into her mind. The voice was vast and ancient, carrying harmonics that made her bones vibrate. You protected the lost child. You gave warmth when he faced the cold void. You showed humanity. Anna's breath caught. I just did what anyone would do. Number, the voice corrected, and Anna sensed others joining in. A chorus of draconian minds. Most would have feared, most would have destroyed, yed or exploited. You alone showed kindness without expectation of reward. The child told us of your deeds, Ember chirped proudly, puffing out his small chest. We are the last of our kind, the elder dragon continued. We have hidden in the dark spaces between stars, avoiding those who would hunt us. But the child insisted we meet you. He insisted we see that not all humans are predators. Kyan stood frozen beside Anna, his face pale. What do they want? The elder dragon's golden eyes shifted to him, then back to Anna. To offer gratitude and to make a proposal. Your species expands into the cosmos, claiming worlds, building empires. They will find us eventually. But if we had advocates, humans who understood us, who would speak for us? Understanding dawned on Anna. You want an alliance, we want friends. The word carried surprising vulnerability. We offer our knowledge of the ancient architects, our ability to survive in hostile environments, our strength. In return, we ask only for protection under human law, recognition, a chance to exist without fear. Anna looked at Ember, who gazed back with those intelligent golden eyes. She thought about what humanity had done to countless species throughout history, the exploitation, the extinction, the casual cruelty. But she also thought about what they could be at their best. She thought about mercy, about kindness, about a scared little dragon in a cargo hold. Yes, Anna said firmly, I'll speak for you. Well, make them listen. The elder dragon's mind voice softened, warming like sunlight. Then let this day mark a new beginning. The Draconians and humanity walking forward together among the stars. Ember launched himself into Anna's arms, chirping joyfully. As she held him, watching the magnificent flock circle the ship in a celebratory dance. Anna realized something profound. Sometimes the most important first contact wasn't made by diplomats or soldiers. Sometimes it was made by a simple act of compassion toward a lost child in the dark. And sometimes that was all it took to change the galaxy forever.